Spider-Man Far From Home. This is the sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming and is the film that follows the events directly after Avengers Endgame. If you have not seen Avengers Endgame, first off, go check that out. And second, if you don't want any spoilers in regards to Endgame, you probably don't want to watch this review. With that being said, there will be no Spider-Man Far From Home spoilers in this review. The film is directed by John Watts and stars Tom Holland as our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Sweet Jesus. Hey, Spider-Man, you bringing me good news today? Go ahead and spin that big web slinger, son. And let me begin this review by stating I like Spider-Man Far From Home a whole lot better than Homecoming. Homecoming, just wasn't a fan. It didn't do it for me. This film, absolutely. I definitely enjoyed this, and here's why. While I will say this film is probably, and people might disagree, it's debatable, this film is probably geared more towards the younger audience. I know there's going to be people of all ages that will go see this and love it, but I really feel like at the heart of it, it's for the young audience, particularly the little high school and college kids. And this film does a fantastic job of capturing what it's like to be a high schooler during this day and age. The cast of these kids really harness that aspect. They bring a very believable vibe, the authenticity between the various relationships. It works. And Tom Holland is the star of this movie. He absolutely nails it. I love this dude as Spider-Man. He's one of my favorites, if not my favorite, to ever play the role. And he doesn't disappoint. I will say, however, I think I enjoy Spider-Man more when he's with the Avengers, whether it was Civil War or Infinity War, things like that. I think I enjoy watching him more with the big cast as opposed to his own solo movie. But seeing his relationship with his classmates and friends, and particularly MJ, that was my favorite part of this movie. Watching those two interact, as well as him with his other friends. It was a feel-good movie. It brought back good memories. And as I said, it really harnessed an authentic feel of a young child's life. The action, the effects, for the most part, I enjoyed it. There's a few things that kind of were silly to me. Some of the effects didn't necessarily look authentic. Believe it or not, this stuff didn't actually happen. It's not real. But the CGI, I was a little disappointed at certain parts. Overall, it was fine. Great action, entertaining from start to finish. I wasn't bored. I wasn't falling asleep. Nothing like that. I don't think anybody will get that way watching this movie. It's good from start to finish. And I know there's going to be those that are happy because we get more Nick Fury and Maria Hill in this film. They've been absent recently. That's not the case in this one. They definitely have a strong presence. They play a major role in this film. And it was good to see both of them back in action, getting a little more behind the scenes, detailed look at some of the things that they do. And of course, this film has to acknowledge Tony Stark. That character, the memory of him, the sacrifice he made. It's mentioned all throughout this story. And it plays a major role in a lot of the things that Peter Parker does. So they definitely give Iron Man a great tribute for the sacrifice he made in Endgame. We also, at the beginning of the movie, not only do you get to hear my mother's favorite song of all time, Whitney Houston's version of I Will Always Love You, you get a nice tribute to Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, the Avengers that made the sacrifice in Endgame. They're all acknowledged and shown respect. That was very cool. At the same time, throughout the film, Peter Parker is constantly mentioning other Avengers. He talks about Thor, and why can't we get Thor to do this? He looks to Captain Marvel, asking Nick Fury, why can't we contact her? But It's not Thor or Captain Marvel's movie, folks. It's Spider-Man's. And as Nick Fury tells him, you are the one we need for the job. And it was very cool to see Peter Parker kind of get the torch passed to him from Iron Man and know, okay, you're the one we're counting on to step up. This is your time now. And you got to see a lot of growth for Peter, because he's struggling, wanting to be this child. And man, I want to go do these activities. I want to tell this girl how I feel. I want to be with my friends. And he's got those real life struggles of a teenager. But at the same time, he really can't focus solely on that. The world needs him. They need Spider-Man. So he's torn between, what do I want and what do I need to do? And that was a very good display of emotion. Very realistic how they were able to capture those different aspects. I want to say my biggest problem with this movie, you may agree or disagree, it was the character of Mysterio. I'm not knocking Jake Gyllenhaal. I thought he did a great job with what he had to work with. I will admit I haven't read the comics, so I don't know if what they did was exactly how it was in the comics. Ugh, that's to quote my good buddy Bob. I don't know if that's how it was in the comics. Ugh, but I didn't like the execution in this film. The way they presented Mysterio and then the big twist with him, I was not a fan of that. I did not enjoy what they did with his character, and I thought it should have just been one way. I think that would have been a lot cooler. When you see the film, you'll understand more of what I'm talking about. And like I said, you may disagree or agree. Either way is fine. But to avoid spoilers, I'm not going to go too much into detail as far as that. In summary, guys, I think for what this movie attempted to do, they really knock it out of the park. It's very enjoyable. It's not my favorite Marvel film. It's not one I'm doing backflips over and, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever. This is a good movie. This is a good follow-up to Endgame. So I'm going to rate Spider-Man Far From Home a 7.5. Definitely go check it out. It's a good movie. Guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the review. If you have, please leave me a like. That does help the channel. And feel free to comment and let me know your thoughts. I would appreciate it. Thanks to all of my subscribers. If you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. Would love to have your support. Everybody take care, and we'll see you next time.